So, Fatal Fury: Seed of the Wolves is a game that's supposed to be coming out next year on April 24th, and supposed to be appearing on the PlayStation 5, PS4, Xbox Series X, and Steam. It was not announced for Nintendo Switch, which I found kind of interesting, but at the same time, it doesn't really surprise me that much, considering the fact that Switch console is towards the end of its life cycle in retail, and that Nintendo's most likely going to announce the Switch 2 sometime in 2025. And um, and honestly, I think for the most part, this game should probably be safe for the Switch 2 if SNK has any plans on bringing it to Nintendo at all, for that matter. But even if they did, it probably wouldn't matter because, um, it's not a first party game, and first party games tend to stand out more on Nintendo consoles than anything else. I do feel that Fatal Fury would definitely shine more on the PlayStation 5 and even the PS4 for the most part because there's really no high profile fighting games that I know of that's supposed to be coming out next year. So I do feel that Fatal Fury Seed of Wolves will definitely stand out, especially considering the fact that this is the first Fatal Fury game that we're going to get in like 25, 26 years because the last Fatal Fury game that we got came out back in 1999. It was something that flew under the radar, and it's something that people barely remember because it came out during a time period where the fighting genre was starting to decline in terms of popularity, and people were looking more at Tekken and Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter during that time period. So, yeah, the Fatal Fury franchise had seemingly been dead for quite some time, and it seemed like more people were focusing more on the King of Fighters series, and it's something that SNK has been putting more spotlight on for the past like several years. And and I do feel that the gameplay mechanics in City of Wolves game is something that's going to appeal to hardcore gamers. It looked like it might be something that's going to be challenging for casuals with the whole rev system thing and the rev arts and all that stuff. I mean, it looked like it's going to be similar to that of King of Fighters in terms of gameplay mechanics, where it's going to be there's going to be like some type of learning curve that's going to be difficult for casuals to grasp. But I think that's something that's going to make it stand out from your typical fighting game. I feel like if the story mode in the game is solid, it's something that's going to be appealing. I'm not exactly sure what type of meta score it's going to end up getting. I feel like if it gets at least an 80, it'd be considered a good game. If it gets under that, it's like whatever. But but yeah, I mean, I think there's supposed to be like at least 17 characters for its base roster, and some of the characters that are going to be returning are familiar faces like Andy Bogard, Joe Higashi, Mai Shiranui, Terry Bogard, Rock Howard, all those characters, and apparently Chun Li and Ken Masters are supposed to be appearing in this game as DLC. And as we all know, they're from Street Fighter, and it doesn't surprise me that they're appearing in this game because they're doing crossovers in relation to video games, Capcom and SNK. Because I believe in Street Fighter Six, Mai Shiranui and I think Terry Bogard's supposed to be like DLC in that game for those who decide to get like a season pass or whatever. But yeah, I don't really see there being much point in having Fatal Fury City of Wolves on the Switch console because the Switch is towards the end of its life cycle. And if this game is successful, it would make more sense to have it on the Switch too. But even then, the graphics on the Switch 2 will pale in comparison to that of the PlayStation 5. And the Xbox Series X is more for like I don't know, it's more for shooter type games. It's more for people who are hardcore fans of Activision Blizzard and their video games and all that stuff. But but yeah, I feel like the features that this game is going to have are quite interesting. Um, I believe City of Wolves is supposed to have online multiplayer. It's supposed to have a rollback net code, and it's supposed to have cross-platform gameplay. So those are all really good things. And I saw, a couple of gameplay trailers for this, and actually looks pretty dope. Like the graphics and all that stuff looks cool, and I feel like Fatal Fury should have gotten this treatment in terms of graphics and gameplay many, many years ago. And it's kind of a long shot that SNK is trying to revive an IP that's been dead for like 2 decades. But hey, it is what it is, and I do feel that Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is something that's going to make a huge impression once it's released next year.